Hello everyone, so today we will be solving another problem in electrostatics. The problem is let E1r, E2r, E3r be a respective electric field at a distance r from a point charge q, an infinitely long wire with constant linear charge density lambda, and infinite plane with a uniform surface charge density as sigma. And the condition given is if E1 of R0 is equal to E2 of R0 is equal to E3 of R0 at a given distance R0, then we have these four options A, B, C and D. And out of these four options, we have to choose the options which are correct with respect to the following conditions or the conditions given in the problem. So E1 R is the electric field generated by a point charge. So we can of course write what is E1 R. It is nothing but 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. Okay, and if it is E1 of R0, then this R will be replaced by R0. E2 of R is electric field generated by infinitely long wire with constant linear charge density lambda. So we already know what is the formula for that. Lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught R. Now this formula is derived using the Gauss's law, and if it is R0, this R will also become R0. Similarly, E3 is a surface charge density is E3 generated by a plane, infinite plane with surface charge density sigma. So we also have the electric field formula for infinite plane also, which is sigma upon twice epsilon naught. Okay, now this condition whichever is given, we will substitute it. So what we will have, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r naught square is equal to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught r naught is equal to sigma upon twice epsilon naught. Now here our job is to verify each and every option and check whether they are correct. So let us try to see if the first option is correct. Okay, so this option relates the q with sigma. So out of these three equalities, we have to equate this with this expression, and when we equate that, we will get a relation between q and sigma. So what we will get q as? So if we write q is equal to, just neglect this middle equality for a moment, we will have sigma upon 2 epsilon naught into this 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught will go to the right hand side, and this r naught square will be over here. Okay, we can clearly see our epsilon naught will get cancelled, and finally we will have 4 pi sigma r naught square. Q is equal to 4 pi sigma r naught square, and so option A is correct. In the second option, we have to find the relation between lambda and sigma. So in this relation, we will equate the second and third expression. So let us do that, equating second and third equation. So the second equation is lambda divided by 2 pi epsilon naught r naught is equal to sigma upon twice epsilon naught, and we have this option in terms of r naught. So what we will do, we will put this r naught on the right hand side, so and bring everything on the left hand side. So what we will have, r naught is equal to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught into 2 epsilon naught upon sigma. we can see epsilon naught will get cancelled and we will have r naught as lambda upon 2 pi sigma. Therefore, the second option is correct. Then we have to check whether this C is correct or not, the third option is correct or not. So here it is given that E1 of R naught by 2 is equal to 2 times E2 of R naught by 2. So we already know what is E1 of R naught. We will just have to find out what is E1 of R naught by 2. We know that E1 of R naught is inversely proportional to R naught square. So when I replace this R naught with R naught by 2, for example, if I calculate E1 of R naught by 2, then what I will have to do? I will have to replace this R naught with R naught by 2. So it will be R naught square by 4, and that 4 in the denominator will go in the numerator. So finally we will have 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 4 q upon R naught square. So we can see extra 4 factor is over here because of this R naught by 2. So simply we can write this as 4 times E1 of R naught. Okay, similarly we will calculate E2 of R naught by 2, which is this expression, and we can see this E2 of R naught is inversely proportional to R naught. So if I replace this E2 of R naught by 2, then this R naught will be what? R naught by 2, and that 2 will go in the numerator. Let me show over here. So it will be nothing but 2 lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught R naught, which is nothing but 2 times E2 of R naught. Now we already know that is given in the problem that E1 of R naught is equal to E2 of R naught, means E1 of R naught is equal to E2 of R naught. Now since we know this equality, we can equate E1 of R naught by 2 and E2 of R naught by 2. So what is E1 of R naught? Is 1 upon 4 times E1 of R naught by 2. Okay, so E1 of R naught is 1 upon 4 times E1 of R naught by 2. Similarly, E2 of R naught is 1 upon 2 times E2 of R naught, or R naught by 2. Okay, and if we equate these two, we can see the relation between E1 of So we can see if we equate these two, we will have a relation between E1 of R naught by 2 and E2 of R naught by 2. And the relation that we will have is 1 upon 4 E1 of R naught by 2 is equal to 1 upon 2 E2 of R naught by 2. And therefore, finally we will have E1 of R naught by 2 is equal to 2 times E2 of R naught by 2. And what our option says? Our option says the same thing, therefore this option is also correct. Now we have to check whether E2 of R naught by 2 is 4 times E3 of R naught by 2. E2 of R naught by 2 we already know. Now we will check what is E3 of R naught by 2. So let me use a different color. So E3 of R naught by 2, E3 of R naught by 2. What is E3 of R naught? E3 of R naught is sigma upon twice epsilon naught. We can see this expression is independent of the R naught. So even if we put E3 of R naught by 2, the answer will be same, epsilon upon 2 sigma naught. Okay, and we already know what is E2 of R naught, so which is nothing but E3 of R naught. Okay, and we already know what is E2 of R naught by 2. So let me write it again. E2 of R naught by 2 is nothing but 2 times E2 of R naught. Now we know E2 of R naught, and E3 of R naught are equal. So we can equate this left hand side. So on equating left hand side, we get E3 of R naught by 2 is nothing but 1 upon 2 E2 of R naught by 2. Okay, so we will check what was our option. E2 of R naught by 2 is 4 times E3 of R naught by 2. E2 of R naught by 2 is actually 2 times E3 of R naught by 2. So this fourth option is wrong. Okay, so this is how we solve this problem that came in JEE Advanced 2014 exam. It is a multi-option answer question. So 3 options A, B, C are correct and fourth one D is wrong. Thank you for watching this video. We will see you in the next video.